turbo that does take time to build boost. She picks up quick, I'll tell you that much. Because then out of nowhere, all of a sudden you're seeing 10, 15 pounds of boost. The FP Red dyno grab, I actually found it. Alright, so we are in the Evo 10. I have not driven this car much. I got the GoPros going in a few different angles. I'm taking a ride. I gotta go somewhere. I gotta go to a store. But we're gonna hit a couple of highways here and there, maybe do a few pulls. So I figured we'll turn on the GoPros and take you guys for a ride and just kind of go over a little bit of what I want to do to the car. Right now it's flex fuel tune. It's currently running on like E40 to E42 blend. When I first got the car, it was like E67, I think, give or take. It was boosting 29 pounds on this E40-ish blend. It's boosting about 25 peak, I think. Still feels absolutely amazing, super powerful. If you're new to the channel, I did own an Evo 10. Oh my God, I think I sold it 12 years ago. At the time, the Force Performance FP Red was very popular, and it put down 473 wheel horsepower and 411 wheel torque. That was in a methanol kit tuned by Sean Ivey over here in New Jersey. I think 31 pounds of boost, like 30 to 31 pounds on, again, methanol. This one, flex fuel tuned. Previous owner, I saw another dyno grabs, I think on E85, or no, E60, I should say, because he didn't have E85 where he got tuned over at is it RTT, RRT? I think it's RTT Motorsports in Connecticut. He was tuned on E60 and it put down over 500. I think on 93, it's a little under 500. Feels awesome. The idle is very rough. The check engine light went away, which is awesome. I was talking about that in a different video. It was throwing a P0300, which is like a random misfire code. And I even spoke to Rafe at RTT, and he said it was because, hold on a second, I gotta maneuver myself into this lane. It was because of the really large injectors. This is running 2150cc injectors, causing a very rough idle. Makes the car think it's misfiring, even though it's not. Underwater, up in throttle, even just cruising, car's very smooth. Even right now, it's not too bad, but at times the idle does get a little bit wonky. Check engine light went away. I know it does come on when you're mixing, you're filling up, let's say 93 or 85, and the ethanol content is, adjusting. It'll flash a little bit. I was a little concerned because it stayed steady and it kept throwing that P0300, but it has gone away, which is great. I scanned it the other day. It was I think it was a pending code now. So who knows? I didn't clear it for it to go away. It went away on its own, and then just read as pending on my OBD2 scanner, really cheap one. I'll link it in the description if anyone's interested. I've used it on my Fiats and stuff. It's just OBD Fusion, which is an iPhone app, and VPeak, whatever you call. But yeah, I do want to find a tuner that's a little bit more local to me, because the guy in Connecticut's a decent drive away. I want to say it's like a good 2.5 hours away. Sean Ivey tuned my last Evo. I heard he's not, I don't know if he's not as into tuning the Evos, or he's not as good anymore. I can't imagine someone not being as good anymore unless he had a different tuner doing the tune with him who's not there. I don't know if Sean Ivey himself did it, but I went to Ivey, like I said, 10, 15 years ago. I was very happy with the tune that I received on my Evo 10. And they are fairly local to me, like, give or take 30, 40 minutes. So I might want to go back there for this one. I do want to touch base on this turbo, because like even right now, when I just pulled out of my driveway, I don't think I had the cameras rolling it. Maybe I did, I don't know. But what I noticed is you got to get used to driving with a turbo that does take time to build boost in the higher RPMs. What I mean by that is you can give a throttle down low and you think you're not giving it enough because you're not building boost. It's not that you're not giving it enough throttle, it's just the turbo's too big and the engine's too small to spool that turbo up at that RPM. Because then out of nowhere, all of a sudden you're seeing 10, 50 pounds of boost and you feel that pushback. It's because you're already at a throttle percentage where it would have built that boost if it was at a higher RPM. So like right now I'm at 3.5. I'm giving it a good amount. Like I didn't give it more gas. It's just, it got to the point where it started building boost and you heard it open up and start pulling a little bit more. And that's just the nature of it. If you're already above, let's say 4,000 or 4,500, and you start giving it a little bit of throttle, it'll start going right away. It's pretty quick the way it will build boost, so to say, if you're in the range where the turbo is going to build boost. But if you're at 3,000, 3,500 or something, and you start giving it 50, 60, 70%, as much as you want, it's kind of nothing. And then it kicks in. So if you're trying to drive casually, just realize, don't try to give it more throttle down low if you're trying to go faster. Downshift, because there's just nothing there. Or you'll just be lagging, like nothing will be there, and then boom, you feel the pushback, because eventually the RPMs climbed into where that turbo is building boost. Just something I noticed, it's obviously something that you will get extremely used to. I've already gotten used to it. I just haven't driven it in, I don't know, a week or so, and then turned it on, started, pulling my driveway first thing, just after driving these other cars, it is giving it throttle. All of a sudden you're like, whoa, okay, you just feel the pushback, because you were already at a throttle position where it would have built boost as it climbed up. Just something, I'm sure as I drive it more, I'll have more input in the future. Again, the car is very new to me. This is probably my third drive, give or take. So in time, I'll do another video going over the 62, 66 turbo and what I think about it long term, because coming from, first of all, it's been forever, the FP Red, that thing is more like a stock frame turbo, I believe it is, just with internally reworked, if I recall correctly. Oh, that's like a little squeaky, the way they have this shift knob, which I gotta change this. I love the WK Motorsports short throw shifter. I'm just not a big fan of the knob itself. It's very, the plastic, it's very slippery. I'm not a big fan of it. So like there was an example where it just kind of like started pulling a little bit more than I thought right when the RPM started climbing. But yeah, in a second, we're gonna be on a highway. We'll do some pulls, we'll see how she feels. I do have my draggy hooked up behind me on the window. I like doing 40 to 100. I know that's not like a time stamp or, pull that is actually calculated in the drag, but you can do custom data points. I'll have a video if you're interested in how to do that. I like 40 to 100 because it's easier to do. It's easier just to be on a road and do a quick 40 to 100. And I mostly do it to compare vehicles to other vehicles and to compare mods. With all my other cars, I would do 40 to 100 from stock to bolt-ons to bigger turbo to all different modifications, and I would see that 40 to 100 and how it increases over time. So it's more for me to test my own mods and how the car performs and gets faster over time, or as I get into more cars, testing it, and then I have a little spreadsheet that I compare 40 to 100. I know 60 to 130 isn't more typical, but let's be real, that is a little bit harder to do. In this car, it might not be as hard, but coming from the little 1.4 liters in the Fiat community, which I love those cars, they're so much fun, hitting 130 is not easy in that. But yeah, I might do it maybe on the way back, I don't know, but I got the draggy, we'll see. Good. Nice cold weather, but she feels good. Boost season. Fifth gear, it definitely takes time to build boost as you shift into fifth. Like fourth gear felt great, and then I went into fifth. I didn't like hammer it, but I did kind of roll back into it, and it did take a lot longer than expected to build that boost back up. Like second to third, third to fourth, the response is a little bit better, but when you go into fifth, it definitely felt like it took a little bit longer. That's probably why a lot of guys, when they bring their Evos to the track, to the drag strip, I should say, they try and wring out fourth gear as far as possible, depending on their power levels and how safe it is, because they don't want to shift into fifth. One, it takes time, but you have a bigger turbo, it's going to take more time to spool up as well. Even there, I'm at 4,000 RPM. I don't know how much boost I'm building. I was a little under 4 actually. It felt good. You're not going to hit your full 20 pounds, but it's starting to build PSI. It's starting to build boost. And since it's building boost, it feels pretty drivable, more than what people expect, I think, or what people imagine. Like down low, below 3,000, yeah, it's pretty damn dead. But above 3,000, I almost feel like it's starting. Let's see, I'm at 3,000. Okay, so maybe closer to 4. I don't know. I'm trying to like just kind of look visually just a little bit. You feel it, even if it's just a couple pounds of boost, you feel the boost start to come on. And then above 4,000, closer to 5 is going to really push it back. But I don't think this is that undrivable as a daily driver, so to say. Again, you want more power, you just downshift. This is not going to be as responsive and is not going to have as much low end power as a stock turbo. I haven't driven a stock turbo Evo in forever. The FP Red, actually from recollection, didn't build boost, or not build, but didn't hit peak boost until after 4,000. I think. I got to look at my dyno graph. I actually found it in the past. Maybe I'll put it on a screen. You guys can see what the old FP Red on methanol, tuned by Sean Ivey, did back pushing over 10 years ago. Picks up quick, I'll tell you that much. Real quick. Before you know it, you're at that car in front of you. That was 4th gear too, by the way. I didn't even downshift into 3rd. That was just 4th gear rolling into it at like, I think a hair above 4,000 RPM. She definitely picks up quickly. So yeah, something else I wanted to bring up to the community, hopefully you guys can give me some input, is are cams worth it? I've read so many things on cams are not worth it on this car depending on the power levels. I'm running a 6266, my engine is not built, so I'm not extracting all the power that I could out of it, but I feel like it would be. I definitely want to do the Beehive springs and titanium retainers because I feel like I want to be able to rev higher safely, confidently. Right now, previous owner said it's tuned to 8,000. I really don't feel too comfortable bringing it up to that. My previous Evo, again, didn't have cams or any of that. I think I brought it up to 75. What is your guys' opinion? Should I just do the titanium springs, retainers, whatever you call Beehive stuff? And will that allow me to safely rev to 8,000? Because I know the car does produce power up to there. Let's see, did we get a 40 to 100 in that? So the good news is still no check engine light. This is on E40 to E42 blend. There's a lot of potential left. It just needs a little bit of engine work to safely extract the rest of the power. That's why a lot of folks say the 62, 66 or other comparable turbos like don't make sense on the stock block. You know, you can make more power down low or have a wider, fatter power band. I get that, but I don't mind it. I have other cars that can suit the around city, town driving, zooming around, whatever. This car, I'm fine having a turbo this size that doesn't build boost until later. One, because of the potential that it has, and that's what I want to do. And two, because I genuinely don't care and I'm fine with it. There's just something you need to come to terms with if you're okay with having a turbo and a setup that will not have too much down low. But up top, that thing will put a smile on your face. It just depends. You want that broad power band. You know, haven't been in the Evo scene for a while, so I'm not going to start spitting out names. I don't know if Force Performance is even the big thing anymore. I know when I had my 9 and 10, it was the green, the red, the black. People are doing 35R, 35 this drop-ins. I know Precision has smaller 50 some trim turbos and everything, but the 6266, I think when done properly, could be that perfect turbo that will be able to make, correct me if I'm wrong, 700 to 800 wheel horsepower and still have a decent spool, and either one or two things, either do something to the engine, stroker, whatever, to make the spool come on earlier, or get some extra revs out of it. make it safely rev out to 9,000 or more. So now you're not just having that power band from like, you know, 4 or 5 to like 7.5 or 8. You could bring it up to 9. So now 4,000 doesn't seem like 4,000 anymore to you because you have the ability to rev it up higher. Just, you know, different ways to put things in perspective. So I think that's gonna be it for this video. If you enjoyed it, give it a like, drop a comment, let me know what you think about everything. Definitely drop a comment if you have an Evo 10 to help me out with the build as I keep going further and further with this. Check out drivendistrict.com for some performance parts, including the clutch that's on here, the exhaust that's on here, lots of other stuff, and some cool merch. I'm always expanding that. We got some air fresheners, keychains, apparel, all different stuff, wall art, blankets, a lot of cool different stuff. And yeah, appreciate the support. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Thanks a lot.